kind of standing in the water. But yeah, so Coffs Harbour, and leave Coffs Harbour today at 3 p.m. bus to Byron. It's only 2.5 hours to Byron, but I'd recommend Coffs. It's a great stopover, and so the Greyhound typically stops at Coffs Harbour, and it was about a 40-minute walk from the bus stop to the backpackers, the jetty backpackers. But it's worth staying here because it's on the water, and it's also it's probably the cheapest option in terms of accommodation. I noticed there was another backpackers along the way. I forget the name, which was a bit closer, but not right on the jetty. So, and it's good. So in the morning, you can get up, go for a swim, walk on the beach, do some commentary, and then on to Byron. So Byron. So I'm looking to do a kayaking with dolphins. Has become quite popular at Byron. So I've got to book that in today. I'll probably do that. I'm thinking Monday. I think it's going to be heavy rain on Saturday in Byron. Sunday could be a few showers. So maybe Monday. I'm in Byron for a week. And for some reason I'm not staying at Wake Up. Wake Up is kind of this new chain. They've got a Wake Up at Bondi Beach. They've got a Wake Up at Central next to Sidebar, and of course the Baron stayed at Wake Up for about a week in Central. And Wake Up is good, but it's just a little bit more expensive, and for some reason I just went this cheaper option, and it also had more ratings. This particular hostel that the Baron's staying at. But the thing about Wake Up is it has yoga. It has free yoga every morning. It has free surf hire, and also has discounts on the bike rentals. So I don't know. Maybe I should have done that, but anyway, I've got this other one which I think is 9. It's got a 9.3 star, and it may have sort of curtains. I think it's got curtains on the bunk bed, so you kind of got a little bit more privacy than just your typical bunk. So that could have been the reason, but also the fact it got 9.3. I can't remember what Wake Up. It's probably about 8 point something, and it was also cheaper. This one I'm going. So, but yeah, I mean the one in Byron, I think it's about $80. Sorry, the one in Bondi Beach, I think it's $80, which is quite a lot for a dorm compared to say compared to other hostels. I don't know, maybe 60. I think I got $45 in Surrey Hills. I think the Village, Surrey Hills, 45, probably one of the cheapest, and quite good. So, there's a bit of a difference between paying $45 and $80. I guess you have to weigh that up. I guess, yes, it's good to stay at Bondi Beach. I would recommend staying at Bondi Beach. But there was a cheaper place. I can't remember was it the local, or there was I think it was a local it's in Lamrock Avenue, a backpackers. It's typically old. The rooms are quite small, but it was cheap, in comparison to, say, Wake Up if you wanted to stay at Bondi Beach. And I would recommend staying at Bondi Beach rather than the city, because just the fact that you get up, you get the sunrise, you can go for a swim, you're on the beach, you've got the nightlife, at least on the weekends, at Bondi Beach. Yes, you could stay at Manly Beach. I think there's 2 hostels. One I stayed at was a disaster. I forget the name of it. It only got about 4-star or something. I forget the name, but there is a better one around about 7 point something star. So yeah, so obviously, yes, you could stay at Manly and just stay at the better hostel, but it doesn't have the nightlife at Manly. Well, it's just a couple of dogs there. It doesn't have the nightlife at Manly like it does at say Bondi Beach. So yeah, I would recommend Bondi over Manly, and Manly's a little bit further out. Well, you've got to get a ferry into the city, which is good, but if you're doing that sort of every day, so Byron, well, there's a lot in Byron Bay. Yes, there's the lighthouse. I think I might have mentioned this before, but there is the lighthouse. Most easterly point of, just got this dog kind of just running up all the time, just starting to. So lighthouse, the most easterly point of Australia. You can get up, see the sunrise. I remember going gliding. I thought was quite good. You can go from somewhere near Byron. Of course you can do skydiving. Yes, the kayaking dolphins. You can do a platypus eco tour, and also a trip to Nimbin. A trip to Nimbin I think is worthwhile. Now on the, my arms get a bit tired. On the Ash Barty, on the tennis front, so I was looking at the total prize money, and Ash Barty ranked 16th all time in terms of prize money for the women's. And yeah, so yes, she won three or three singles, one doubles. Doubles doesn't pay that much anyway. But just the fact that she was winning a lot of tournaments, and you expect her to be winning a lot of tournaments because over that sort of period of time when she was playing tennis, because she was ranked number one and holds, was it seventh all time in terms of weeks number one, something like fourth in terms of consecutive, something like that, fourth all time in terms of consecutive number one. So yeah, in terms of ranking, she just holds some records. In terms of prize money, she does very well. But I think what she probably biggest achievement is she never lost a final in a Grand Slam. And so to win three, I don't know, I have to look at the stats, but has anyone sort of run, three singles slams without actually losing a final? That itself is sort of quite and it just shows, she just handles the pressure so well. I think that's what I would probably consider her probably best achievement. And does she hold a record in being the only player to win, say, three singles or four doubles without actually losing a final? I mean, has anyone, say, won five slams and not actually lost the final? So, yeah, it's quite a... Yeah, I mean, even, yes, Djokovic, of course, 24 singles. But what was his first, say, four Grand Slam finals? Did he win every one, or did he actually lose a final? And also notice that Djokovic didn't win his first slam, I think, the age of 19. And in comparison to, say, Boris Becker, who won Wimbledon at 17, Michael Chang, of course, the youngest male to win at 17 and won the French Open. I don't think he ever won a slam since then, since winning that first French. And also the youngest player, I think Martina Hingis, at least in singles, 16. So I don't know. Djokovic, well, I don't know. Djokovic does feel the pressure. He feels the pressure, I think, in maybe winning the first slam and also losing finals. He lost to Alcaraz in that Wimbledon final he should have won. He lost to Medvedev when going for the calendar slam. Yes, he should have won that. Medvedev, seriously. And then loses a sin-up. He didn't even make the final at the Australian Open. He dominates the Australian Open. He's won 10 Australian Opens and can't even make the final. I think he just choked against Sinner as well. So he feels the pressure. Yeah. Not as much, of course, as Roger Federer. Roger Federer was just joking. Nadal is interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think Nadal handles pressure really well. I had to look at his stats, but just the fact he was able to win 14 French. The only one, I guess, was the one he lost to Soderling. He actually lost two to Djokovic, but yes, he maybe the Soderling. Now, the other interesting stat is Djokovic, I think, the only player to win three of every single slam the Australian, French, Wimbledon, US. Only player to win three, at least three, because he won the three French. I think that's correct. He's only won two, but I believe he's won three, and probably the only player. So I don't know. He can just dominate on every surface. Possibly the only player that is able to dominate on every surface. Maybe the exception of course, Margaret Court. Never actually watched Margaret Court, but they didn't have, back in the days. Well, they're playing on grass anyway. Yes, we're playing on clay. But yes, they didn't typically have the hard courts, but then you could argue, well, hard court is somewhere in between grass and clay. So yes, maybe Margaret Court. I just have to look at the stats, and maybe Rod Laver in the time that he played as well. But certainly, since the modern era in 1968, it's only been Novak Djokovic. To some extent, Agassi, but Agassi, he just wasn't the player of a Novak Djokovic. So, okay, I might sort of leave it there. I might just get a I've got to check out. What's the time now? It's hard to see. Oh, 9:15. I've got to check out in 45 minutes. And, okay, that was the Baron Breaks. Can Ash Barty serve? When I say serve, can she ride sort of a surfboard? I don't know. I think she's pretty much talented at every sport. So I don't know. I think she probably can.